let's say that you're challenged on something. It could just be in your everyday life.
Let's say it's cast iron because that's where I really am confident about what I know.
You know, but how often have you ever, like, in a conversation or an interaction when you're being challenged by somebody that you're like, you know what, this is just my ego talking.
Happened at ShopRite the other day. I was talking about fish. A guy asked me, I was in line at the fish. I like ShopRite's crab cakes, and they make really good ones. And I was behind a guy.
Magnets.
And a guy, he goes, yeah.
What is that, by the way?
I think it's from Always Sunny. I just like when anyone says I like something just so generically, I like just inserting it.
Because we did the detail that I like crab cakes.
when we stopped at the cardboard the camp out for hunger. Koozies are fucking awesome. He just goes. They were giving out free koozies, and I looked at him like,
listen.
Why just say
at ShopRite and forget about the crab
I
cakes.
swear.
This is Full Size Podcast with Paul,
I really wish I could get another pandemic.
Kyle,
Suck on it until the magic happens.
Phil,
Jesus was from New Jersey.
and me, Tyler.
I would love to know what the is playing right now.
Okay.
Let's get down to brass tacks, gentlemen.
All right, I'm in. Me too.
Let's do this!
So there was a podcast I was watching, and there was a British guy on there, and he was calling it. He's like, oh yeah, I take vitamins, and the host of the podcast was like, oh, it's actually vitamin because it's a combination of vital minerals, and he's like, no, it's not, it's vitamin. Huh. He's like, and then they looked it up, and the actual definition. It's like it has nothing to do with vital minerals. So the guy was wrong. So So the host actually had to like eat some crow there a little bit. I remember watching because it was like live on YouTube, and he had to like you saw the chat just light up with like oh, you're not as smart as you think you are.
Yeah.
British people try to pretend they're so much better than us. They're just like us with our bacon, egg, and cheese torsos, doughy jackasses.
Well, actually, because that's what so.
They try to act like they're so much better. Oh, Americans are so stupid. Like, shut the fuck up.
Well, it's not. No, you know who's the
At least
worst?
we don't have a fucking king and queen playing dress up over there, you idiots.
It's the French. The French are worse.
I don't know, Lloyd. The French are assholes.
Exactly. No.
We are assholes.
I spent 45 minutes in England, and I said I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Really?
Yeah, and then I went right to Amsterdam.
No.
Really? See, I would do the same thing.
My name is Mr. Dubak.
I walked into my hostel. There was like a 60-year-old guy walking out of the shower, and it was like just 4 bunk beds, and there was 4 of us. And I was like, so who sleeps with the old guy? So he was like, no, let's early trip to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
It was the coolest ferry ride ever.
Yeah?
Yeah. It was
That's
really
awesome.
Cool. Yeah, I highly recommend just taking a ferry from wherever in UK to Scandinavia at any point in Scandinavia.
Okay.
Just because like it's like you stand on the top deck and you get like fucking launched from the wind. It's insane.
Really?
Yeah, it's really cool.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
You putting your
No. I was just gonna say. So like, because recently I started kind of like a new Instagram strategy where I've been like interacting with people more often, and especially like other, say, photographers and videographers.
That's what they say to do now. Interact with people in your niche.
Yeah, exactly. So, and like, trying to find, maybe like possible collaborations, which actually I've met some really cool people.
Yeah.
But then, of course, you run across the people that they're easily, they know more than you.
Well, it's
right?
all of them.
Or,
Actually, people.
Yeah.
Anyone from England.
Well, I think it's just the accent.
No, they just say, well, that's an American house. Of course that would happen.
What it makes me think of, right? Like, it makes me think about...
Go play with a shuttlecock.
smoke a fag.
Can you Google where? Can you Google where badminton or
where badminton was?
Is the shuttlecock from badminton?
Yeah. Shuttlecock is from badminton.
Yeah, I'm curious if it's
So so what I was, it made me think about like things like ego. Like how, like situations that you've been in, like how aware of your ego are you?
I'm not aware of any. I still don't really believe when people ask me questions. I feel like, oh my God, what? That's a heavy question. Then I realize, like, oh, I'm supposed to be helping this person.
Well,
like
okay, but in what about in situations when you're let's see, your authority, let's say on cast iron, right?
Okay, give me a
and like,
scenario.
where are you the most confident?
Right, where you're most confident.
Because your ego can go from I am the expert on this to I am an asshole now, and I'm going to let you know about it.
Which it's not. I am the expert, but it is.
You are the expert.
No, it's not. My ego is not. I'm the expert. My ego is.
That's why you don't have an ego. We're having this conversation.
Do you think you could just hop into this hobby in less than a year? That's what gets me pissed off about all the newer influencers, newer accounts associated with cast iron that think they know exactly what's going on when they have put zero trial and error.
PJ's point,
But that's it's my point. It's my absolute point. Where
I
it's
wouldn't call
like,
it an ego though. I feel weird calling it that.
well, no, it is ego. It's your ego because it's your Actually, can we get a textbook definition of ego?
super ego, id, and ego, please.
Siri, define ego.
That's why, because I just think it's
A person's sense of self-esteem or self-importance. The part of mind that meditates between the conscious and unconscious is responsible for reality testing and a sense of personal identity. Compare with your ID and superego, a conscious thinking on a subject. Okay, so I guess ego would be the word.
because I have noticed that it's like when let's say that you're challenged on something, and it might not even necessarily be on. It could just be in your everyday life.
Let's say it's cast iron because that's where I really am confident about what I know.
You know, but how often have you ever, like, in a conversation or an interaction when you're being challenged by somebody that you're like, you know what, this is just my ego talking.
Happened at ShopRite the other day. I was talking about fish. A guy asked me, I was in line at the fish. I like ShopRite's crab cakes, and they make really good ones. And I was behind a
I like
guy.
magnets.
And a guy, he goes, yeah.
What is that, by the way?
I think it's from Always Sunny. I just like
Yeah,
saying,
but
when anyone
like
says
that.
I like something just so generically, I like just inserting it.
Because we did the
Kyle
detail
did
that I
something
like
that
crab cakes.
when we stopped at the cardboard the camp out for hunger. Koozies are fucking awesome. He just goes. They were giving out free koozies, and I looked at him like,
Listen.
why just say
At
that?
ShopRite, and forget about the crab
I
cakes.
swear.
But there was a guy in front of me that asked the young kid behind the fish counter, what fish should I use for ceviche? And the guy behind the counter was like, well, you could use this or that. We got some organic tilapia.
Hell is ceviche?
And I was like, whoa, wait a minute.
it's-
I was like, first off, you could use that. The cut of fish that he had was fine. It was like cod or haddock, whatever. You could use that. But I said I wouldn't be in the seafood department saying organic tilapia because that's a man-made fish.
Yeah.
He's like, it's not man-made. I
farmed.
said, there's no such thing as a wild tilapia. It's a completely GMO fish. And the guy wanted to, I was like, that's all right. I don't want to argue with you. It's okay.
It's
I'll
hard
just
to
take
find
two.
them in the wild.
I'll just take two.
Well,
No,
unless
they're
it's-
not in the wild. They're completely man-made.
Well, they're in like lakes or whatever they those housing.
The fisheries.
Yeah, fisheries. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not natural. Like a largemouth bass is native.
Yeah,
To play. That's
like
not
you
a
can't
native.
go get like striped tilapia.
Yeah.
Right. So the guy goes, I said, that's all right. I said, I don't want to argue with you. He goes, no. I'm going to look it up. So I was like, all right, here we go. Looks it up. What can I get for you? And I was like, you're not even going to say, like, you're not even going to address that? I was like,
Well,
Sore loser.
Yeah.
and
So-
that's the thing is like, like when you're say like you're wrong about something, it's like people that have a problem not being able to admit that they were wrong.
I get like that with driving. If I have the right of way and you impede on my right of way, I get fucking pissed off.
But
Yeah.
what if you were wrong and you don't have the right of
Yeah,
way?
that's
I usually,
That's you, like
I'm not
you
saying
being
that
Do you
a
don't
always
know.
have the right of way? No matter
No.
where you're going, you
That's
always
where
have the
those
right of way.
conflicts happen because both drivers think they have the right of way.
but when you
Yeah.
approach a circle, you yield to the cars that are already in the circle.
Depends on the circle.
Yeah.
Also depends on the state. We don't have circles.
Correct.
in my
That's
state.
true.
Or jug handles.
Yeah.
Lucky
Yeah.
son of a bitch.
Canadians.
No,
Where was I? That was like weird. That like Colorado. Yeah, Colorado loves circles.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I
But-
love circles.
Going back to ceviche, it's basically raw fuck. It's raw fuck.
It's raw fucking. I love that kind of fucking.
It's a raw.
Hell yeah.
It's like raw fish that's like cooked by the acidity of like a citrus or something like that.
I think that to harken back to your question about the ego thing, the guy didn't admit he was wrong, but then later on in the store, I ran into the people that were buying the fish for the ceviche, and the guy's like, what acid should I use? I was like, I saw a recipe not that long ago where instead of using lemon juice, they used equal parts of lime and grapefruit juice, and it made like a different tang, like a different thing of ceviche.
Sure.
And he was like, "Oh, like fuck yeah, dude!" Like, he was excited. He got the cilantro, the parsley.
Citrus will make her horny.
And no, I was just trying to.
I know.
That's a big move to make somebody. It's a risky food.
It is risky.
You got to. It's like tartare. You got to hit it right, or you're gonna be shitting your brains out.
Yeah.
So
I would trust you. I mean, there's a lot. I don't think anyone at this table really has a large ego.
No,
Like,
I know personally. It's like I've done a lot to suppress.
curb it. Yeah.
Yeah, like
we
honestly,
all could.
Yeah.
Like-
Well, we're all very self-deprecating.
I'm
Well-
probably the smartest person at this table, but
yeah,
Good example.
it's true.
I'm a very introverted person. I couldn't care. I mean, everybody had to some extent. You care what people think about you and what your image is in the public
Sure.
space. But
Yeah.
in the grand scheme of things, especially when since I've started working on anxiety and things like that, totally out the window. Like
Yeah.
I just do my own thing. I'm totally fine with like it used to be in high school and in college and stuff. Is you post on social media a lot. You're trying to put yourself out there. You're
Yeah.
peacocking. You're trying to find somebody.
Then
and
you
get the
then you
attention,
then you get
the
into
likes, right?
The online. Then you get into the online feuds.
Exactly.
Yeah, you get
But
into those
I mean,
fights.
I'm at this point now. Like I
Oh,
am posting
man.
so less frequently as like a post. Like you would post selfies, what you're doing, what you're eating, what you're watching, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. And I'm not interested in that at all.
No, I
anymore.
think
Yeah.
a lot
Just
of it
not-
has to do with your level of confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Your
Yeah,
ego can
that's
be
a good
completely
point.
in check where it's like, you know what, no matter what that asshole says, I know what I know. And I've been where I've been.
yeah.
And stay behind your fish counter and give me a fucking
Or
organic
just being content
tilapia.
with where you are. Like I don't need other people's validation at this point. Is kind of a big part of it too.
That's
Yeah.
that's a very
I don't need
wholesome
to
place to
post-
be in your life.
I don't need to post something and see how many likes it gets to
Right.
know that what I'm doing is cool or not. I'm just going to do it because I fucking like doing it. And
Exactly.
That's the
Yeah.
end of it. And I don't need that anymore. So that's a big part of it, at least in my eyes, as far as getting that validation from other people. But
That's what I think. I think a lot of the things, especially with, say like the photo video stuff I'm doing, like with the podcast, like it's like I'm doing all this stuff because I love doing it.
Right.
And then I share it because it's like, all right, cool. Like if you like it.
because you're trying to grow it. You're
Yeah.
not, you're
There's
not doing it to
pride
get
there, too.
to get
You're proud of your
attention,
work.
you know?
Yeah, I'm absolutely proud of my work,
Yeah.
and I know, like, I'm waiting for the day that like somebody tries to tear apart a video or a photo that I did, because I'm just gonna be like, okay, cool.
Yeah, thanks,
That's
dude.
what I love about like art in general is it's subjective.
I think when somebody when I post a lot of the content on my page, for those that don't know, I do a lot of things about soap versus no soap stuff on cast iron. Every time I do a soap post, I get that DM that's like, well, did you know that the soap thing has to do with lye?
Back in the
Lye
day.
back in the day was what they used to kill grease. I'm thinking,
I
you
even
don't
know
think
that.
I know that, you fucking asshole? You think I don't know that? You think you're going to tell me about what lye does to cast iron?
What does
Jeffrey?
lye do to cast iron?
It strips the oils. Lye was made in soap, and it was a degreaser. And people are like, well, the reason they said not to use soap was because it had lye in it, and it degreased and stripped. You don't think that soap has modern detergent? But what the where the ego comes in is people try to use science to defend their position, whereas you can't use one science to deny another science.
Correct.
It's not.
Yeah.
You're entitled to your opinion, but you're not entitled to your facts. So
Yeah.
when people try to say, well, if the oil is polymerized to the cast iron, the soap's not going to ruin it. Okay, that's science. I got you. You're right. That's science. That is proven science fact. But it's also science proven fact that if you heat the thing up to over 212 degrees, there's not going to be any kind of contaminants on it.
Right.
So that one fact kind of makes the other fact obsolete.
Right.
And it's not a matter of opinion. And I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. You can use soap. But I think where the ego comes in is where people are like, did you know scientifically? I hate that.
Well, it's that's the thing is like nowadays you have scientific fact that suits your position,
narrative.
your whatever.
Right, but when someone comes
Yeah.
back with you, you're like, no, I don't want to hear that. I don't
Well,
wanna hear that.
exactly.
That's when you're
Instead
the
of-
asshole.
And that's where I'm saying that's another instance where the ego is getting challenged, and it's like people can't. They have a problem sitting back and listening. And like actually hearing what someone else has to say and take into account, then maybe do the research to be like, oh, you know what? This guy's got a point.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
What?
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Bing.
Got him.
Done.
Not to derail. but I was just saying,
Bother you?
I was like, wait, is he serious right now? I was like, wait.
I have that problem. I've gotten
What?
into a lot of arguments with family members and things. Is that like I'm really good at being serious and not and
Yeah.
like when I tell a joke or I drop a joke, people can't tell if I'm joking. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And then I get
that.
into arguments with people over it.
The biggest ego crimes I see are like those like Salt Bay and stuff like that, where
Oh,
they're just
God.
like
Yeah.
they do that Turkish knife thing, but they take it to like this weird extreme where they're just like Like I don't know.
Yeah, the way they showmanship everything.
Yeah.
Like
Now there's like Little Salt Bay now, and like
I
it
couldn't
just,
watch him.
just spawns
Stupid.
more and more assholes.
Where he bangs the knife on the cutting board before he cuts.
That's
it
an
does
actual-
nothing. It dulls your knife. It fucks your cutting board up.
Yeah.
You can get
for
plastic
show.
in your.
So apparently there's not to go on a tangent, but there's like this Turkish way of, it's called like Turkish knife play or something like that. But to do that, it's like getting the stuff off the knife as you're cutting it. So it's like flicking shit off the knife.
Yeah.
That's why they do stuff like that. This is my TikTok knowledge that I've learned over the past of the course of the week.
Okay.
Because I've
knows
seen this like
everything,
Little
so-
Salt Bay guy now.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, the ego of these individuals, it's on the same par as like DJ Khaled and stuff like that.
yeah.
I'm just like,
another one.
yeah, they're so fulfilled with
Tell 'em to bring
themselves.
out a
Well,
knife.
and you know what's funny about like
Is that healthy?
To have that ego like that.
I saw DJ Khaled perform, quote unquote, at the Overwatch League finals. When they were in New York or
Whoa.
in Brooklyn. Yeah,
That's
It was
cool.
cool. It was actually awesome to actually go to a video game event that was like the Super Bowl of the video game. Oh wait, I got to say the big game, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If once people complain about it, that's how
Yeah.
we know people are listening. It's crazy to see an event that big where somebody would where they would foot a bill like that for over
That's
a
pretty
video
cool.
game.
So he quote unquote performed where they essentially played the track that he edited or produced or whatever, and he literally sat on stage listening to the track going, another one. DJ Khaled! Like he didn't
Just saying his-
playing.
he
yeah.
didn't
It's just playing.
he didn't even hit the play button.
He just hung out.
Like he's literally on stage just bopping around to the music until he interjected like what he did on the
But
song.
he holds himself like he's
Yes,
a god.
like he's so
good.
that is so that's like it's funny because there's some times where it's like maybe like your friend like let's say you were having an argument with somebody. I was like, dude, your ego's kind of coming out here, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's kind of like a check now. Some people would be like, well, fuck you, I don't have an ego, right? I'm like, well, that's actually you're kind of proving my
Proving the
point.
point, yeah.
You're like, and then
not fucking mad.
But then other people know how to be like, oh shit, okay, yeah, all right, cool,
self-reflection.
yeah.
Right.
A celebrity that comes to mind when you talk about ego for me is Kanye. He had his
I-
big. I mean, he kind of went crazy. We haven't
Yeah,
heard from him in a
dude,
little
some
while.
of the stuff he says
But no,
makes sense.
Listen, no, I don't want to sit here and talk about his conspiracy theories. I want to sit here and talk about how he would be. I am God's gift to you.
No.
That's
no.
the
Yeah,
shit I'm talking about. How he called himself Jesus, whatever you want to say.
Yeezy.
You know what I mean? Like how he was
Yeet.
basically acting like I'm God's gift to you.
When he was on
Yeah.
Hot
you have
97,
the privilege to listen to what I just
Yeah.
did. No, I fucking don't. You're getting money from me for listening and streaming your shit. Like
What-
that's the attitude that I can
Yeah.
leave.
what you want to see from Kanye West was in like 2012. He was interviewed on Hot 97 by Sway, and he just fucking started freaking out. And Sway's like, "Yo, man, don't come on this shit and turn up, man. I'm your boy. What the hell are you doing talking to me like this? This is my show." And he's like, "Ratso Rizzo is the owner of Balenciaga. I hang out with Clemente Rosada. He looked at my shoes and he, yo, get out. You ain't got to come on here and turn up." Like he was fucking, like he, and then all of a sudden
That's what I
he's just
mean,
like came back to earth. Like, dude, why did I just do that? Like that's,
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
He needs help.
Well,
That's beside the point. But that's what came to mind for me and the whole, interrupting
your-
Taylor Swift and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And all that.
Oh, my God.
Disney.
But it's just
me.
it's just
George Bush doesn't care about
black people. Yeah. Oh, that was
that 9/11 or was that a hurricane?
No, that was
Katrina.
Katrina.
That was a
Yeah.
Katrina
The
thing.
look on Mike Myers' face was
Beyonce
like,
should have won.
It's like Homer Simpson going back into
oh
the.
god,
Into the bush.
so funny. It's so funny. Oh, that's probably one of my favorite
That's another
clips
show
of
I'm going to
all
start
time.
working on impressions from now that I've
Simpsons?
been watching The Simpsons.
Oh, yeah.
a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that. So.
You've been diving into The Simpsons?
A lot.
Yeah.
Release the hounds, or whatever.
Finally, dude. I'm so glad he is.
I love The Simpsons. It's so funny.
I'm a huge
I dropped
Simpsons
off
fan.
after a while.
Homer.
Barney?
Barney. Yeah.
I love that Hank Azaria does 12 different voices on that show.
Way more
Dude,
than
he's
12.
great.
Oh, a
Like,
lot.
He's awesome.
I'm just saying, when
Yeah.
he started out, he was Chief Wiggum, he was Mo, he
Yeah,
was
Mr. Burns.
Mr. Burns.
Yeah.
Like he's just my God, he was just so prolific.
It's very
Apu.
fashionable to shit on the new episodes of The Simpsons.
Is it?
Yes, it is. A lot of people say, "Oh, only watch the first 9 seasons. After that, it's garbage." But from never watching them, I just started watching whatever's on, and I'm watching the new one, and I'm finding them hilarious.
They're funny. It's well
Yeah,
written.
it's just rose-colored glasses. Keep people today
100%.
are thinking back to when they were in college and high school and seeing this stuff and it blowing their mind.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, well, that was the best." The new episodes now just as funny. I watched a really good one this past Halloween. They came out with a new Halloween one where they went.
Treehouse of Horror.
Yeah.
It was Bart in the blockchain.
Yes.
Oh,
Where he
Get
was
out.
an NFT.
Yes.
And the only way for Marge to save him was she had to kill off all the other NFT. Like, I thought it was a great idea. It was really interesting. I liked it. But other people are like, "Oh, it's garbage."
Nah.
No, you can't watch an old no.
For a show to stay relevant after 30 years.
Well,
that's
and
fantastic.
fantastic.
That's the thing is my personal view on it is it's like eventually after a while things start to lose steam.
Yeah.
Like you get
It's just gonna
especially
happen.
if it's the same writers. But if they keep cycling through new writers and kind of keep it
Which it seems
relevant,
like they do, right?
Which if they do, I don't know. I haven't
don't know
watched
if they do.
an
A lot
episode of
them,
Simpsons.
I mean, they
in-
have some chief writers and things that
Yeah.
people that are up top that don't. But I'm pretty sure that like the
Yeah.
regular staff that like not all of them stick around for a long time.
No, because they move on to other things. I mean,
Yeah.
shit, what was it? Conan was a writer for Simpsons.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
and those episodes are fantastic. Too.
Yeah.
That's like season 4, 5, 6 in that
Yeah.
area.
Ooh,
They're
that
great.
was a good era of The Simpsons.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
He wrote
That's
the
probably-
monorail episode.
So that was
No
oh,
way.
get out, really?
I haven't watched that episode.
That's
yet.
one of the most famous
And
episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's videos of him. He performs the song because it's his song. He wrote that song.
So that's-
yeah, he with his staff, with the staff there. I mean, but it was his song. It was his episode.
Speaking about someone who's made it so long in like just pop culture and does not have an ego. Anytime I
So
see
don't talk about me.
Speaking of, yeah,
any interview, he just holds his own. He's just so very kind.
Conan?
Otherwise, there's no rumors of him being an asshole.
No,
or
the only
anything like
rumors
that.
you hear about him is how great of a guy he is to work for.
Yeah.
That I've heard.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot about that. He's a great
because
dude. I love
he's
him.
worked with so many different staffs.
Yeah.
Like you have to
Yeah.
imagine that he just
Jordan's
knows
desk.
he just knows how to work with people.
Yeah.
And he knows like how not to be treated.
And
Yeah.
the
You know?
story of him getting into late night was so crazy. It was just they were just looking for somebody to fill Letterman's spot, and he was just
Lauren.
a writer.
Yeah, Lauren
and
knew him.
Lauren knew him from working on Saturday Night Live, and he's
Yeah.
just like, give it a shot. So he goes down there. He interviews what's his name from Seinfeld, the dude. Not
Jason
Seinfeld.
Alexander?
Jason Alexander.
Jason Alexander.
And like some random celebrity or whatever. He tells one stupid ass joke. He bought his
Shanling was up for it.
Gary Shandling, yeah?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
there's
Yeah.
a couple people up
Wow.
for, that they were talking to. Another was Jon Stewart, I think,
No,
at the time.
Shanling was up for hosting Saturday Night Live. That's like he was a pro. No, fuck Albert Brooks. That's who was
Albert Brooks?
approached.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to run Saturday Night Live with Lauren.
Yeah.
and then, sorry.
But,
Tangent.
no, it's just really interesting because they're just like, who is this guy? But they did
Yeah.
they did they did an audition tape and they watched it and it was like, this guy's hilarious. Who is
That's
this
cool.
guy? And,
Yeah.
and it just stuck. But they were so unsure with who he was and what his show was going to be that the network was only renewing their contract weekly.
Yeah.
By
Yeah.
weeks they were renewing their contract.
Yeah.
So him and Andy were always on the edge of their seats. Like, I hope this is a good show.
Yeah.
because,
Yeah, I hope it works this
like
week.
in the
yeah.
beginning, it was really rough going, but
Yeah.
but because of their age, they were able to click with the college scene at the time, and it
Oh,
just,
I
the
never
young kids at their time, and that
never
was,
miss Conan.
Yeah.
and
When I
that
was,
just skyrocketed
Yeah.
them because that was the time slot that the college kids were up at that time.
yeah, because
like,
I
he
hated
was
I
weird.
hated Leno.
Yeah, Leno sucked.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't like him.
I
He
didn't
was-
like Leno.
he was not. Oh my god.
I didn't like Leno. Letterman
He
was
rubbed me
great.
the wrong way.
Letterman has a new show coming out now
Letterman
on
was the
TBS
shit.
that he's producing.
Oh, get out! Really?
Yeah, on Letterman's show, he used to do the Stupid Pet Tricks
Yeah.
segment, and now they're doing a show called Stupid Pet Tricks.
That seems hokey.
And he's it's
Cash grab.
Sarah Silverman is
Yeah.
the host, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like
I
that.
guess, is he not doing his interview show on Netflix
Which was
anymore?
awesome.
I don't know. I think maybe it's
That
just
was
like,
a
maybe they're
great
taking
one.
a hiatus
Yeah.
from it because they're doing all kinds of weird promotions where like you can like win the marquee from his show when he was at the Ed Sullivan Theater or something.
Really?
And they're doing promotions for something for him, so he's doing
Interesting.
something. I don't know what.
I've tried
you
to
ever-
understand his genius. It's hard for me. I can't.
I
Yeah.
read the books on the story of Late Night, both of them.
Did you
and he's
watch
just
that movie?
He's just way too. Oh, it's great. Yeah.
That movie where
book,
it's-
it was written by the guy who wrote the books.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
it's all
okay.
the same story. But I liked reading the book and then watching it because it was the same story. But he is just so fucking brutal on himself.
Letterman's pretty good.
Letterman
I
is
think he's
brutal
good.
on himself.
Yeah.
I mean, beating stuff up, throwing things around the room. That was a fucking stupid fucking show, and we were
Makes
garbage.
sense that Conan likes him because he's also self-deprecating.
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
well.
Very much
Like,
so. Yes.
Yeah.
His show on Netflix was called My Next Guest Needs No Introduction.
That's what it was. My
Yeah.
next guest needs no introduction.
And he
Great.
did. Oh,
Great
know what a
show.
good episode was? You're very surprised that I say this. The Kim Kardashian one. He asked her the right question. I thought it was very because we have we have a general
just pure
depiction
dismissal.
of the
Yeah.
of the Kardashians, but to hear her talk and it was quite interesting what he extracted.
She's definitely experienced a ton of stuff.
Sure, for sure.
Take it or leave it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take
Oh,
it or
she
leave it.
took it. I saw both videos.
Love Web. Yeah.
But no, yeah. Like,
Ray J.
that's one person whose ego I have a little bit of a problem with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Kardashians.
But-
Kardashians?
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
one?
Sure.
Oh, yeah, all of them. I
They
guess.
all
Yeah.
deserve to be. They all deserve our attention for no good reason.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
I miss the Kardashian, the show, like the first seasons where
you
Jenner
I
was
miss
just
it?
walking around in the background. No, because it was watching them, like learning. It was the early years of social media. It was the early years of like being an influencer. They were like the first influencers.
The early years of reality TV.
It was interesting. I'm not saying
Where
I enjoyed
was
it. I didn't see it
experimental.
now.
Yeah.
You're talking about like the Real World, and you're talking about
Yes.
Oh,
what was
yeah.
what was the one with
Road Rules?
Paris
Road
Hilton
Rules?
and
Oh.
Nicole Richie?
Yeah, that was
Something life.
The Simple Life.
Simple Life, yeah.
Shows like that.
They
and
just were
American
fascinating
Chopper
to
and
me.
stuff
Well,
like-
that's the
all
thing
those
is-
shows. That was such a great
That
time.
American Chopper sucked.
We all
Dude,
know it was scripted
Dad
and
said
stuff.
the carburetor was supposed to be here today. It's not here. Dad's going to be pissed. Like it was every same thing every episode.
But I mean, like it was still fun. Pimp My Ride. That was
Oh,
one of the,
yeah,
and
Pimp My
next,
Ride.
all the MTV ones. Next, Silent Library.
Next
Did you guys
was
see
the
Silent
most-
Library?
Well, that's where it started was MTV because
Sure.
Road Rules and
The Real World.
Real World.
Yeah.
Road Rage.
That's
that was a
Road
Sega
Rage.
game.
That was
That's
Simpsons
where-
Road Rage.
That was a great game.
No,
Road Rash.
Road Rash. That's
Road
the second
Rash.
game.
Like
yeah.
you would have the
the whip,
Yeah,
the clubs,
yeah.
the taser, the cattle prod. Yeah.
They gotta bring
I
chains.
love- I
Make a
love
new
Road
one.
Rash.
We should
Make a new
record us
Yeah.
playing a video game together. That would be fun.
Conan does that. He does the Clueless Gamer.
What?
Yeah.
What
where
did
they
Phil
play,
say?
where they
Right,
play
right.
a game. You've seen those before?
Marshawn Lynch, my favorite.
Yeah, where
When
they
he
sit
had
there-
Marshawn
Yeah.
Lynch on.
They're sitting there playing
I
the
like
games.
the Bill Hader with the God of War. That's
Yeah.
a good one too.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
We
But
should do that. That's a good
Drinking
idea.
and driving is a really fun game, and just I'm gonna not preface because I'm talking after it. But basically, what you do is you play Mario Kart, and you can't drive. So when you drink, and the goal is
Oh, yeah,
to
no
finish.
drinking and driving.
Yeah, finished. Yeah,
Yeah, we used to call it Beerio Kart.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, there
Yeah,
you
That
go.
works. Yeah.
Yeah, but I've played that game plenty of times.
That's
It's
fun.
a lot of fun. Do you
Yeah.
chug the whole thing and then go, or do
Yeah,
you
what's your
wait for the
strategy?
moments where you're on a ramp to
I'll
take
tell
a
you
sip?
guys my
Like,
strategy. I chug the beer
Sure.
and then
And you
race the
puke.
whole race.
No, I
Yeah.
puke on
Yeah.
people and then I race. Yeah.
That's good.
That's a very good one. Actually, did that at a bachelor party at Beer Olympics type of thing where they did that. It was with the SNES version, the first
That's
Mario
cool.
Kart.
So going
Wow.
back, okay, great segue. Going back to ego, that is a game where you can throw your ego around without
Mario Kart?
being unapologetic. Yeah,
Mario Kart. Hell
unapologetic
yeah.
ego.
Lightning,
Yeah.
screw
Oh.
you guys.
Well, not even just that. Like, I will fucking own you. Like,
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of
Well,
tribalism and stuff like that.
I think when it comes
Yeah.
in video
Yeah.
games in general.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yoshi and the mock bike, I will fuck you up.
Like Smash. Oh my God.
yeah.
Smash
Like,
Brothers.
I mean, and I mean, you look at it.
Sorry.
Call of Duty or any of those games where it's like, I mean, the people in the chat, man, they get
Yeah.
fucking
Dude.
brutal. Actually, I know people recently,
hated British people.
people now that recently they've
Triggered.
gotten banned, get temporarily banned because now.
It listens.
I guess it listens,
Yeah.
and it's like the shit you used to be able to get away with saying, like
Oh,
they just
God.
automatically ban you,
Yeah.
which that puts me at a
Pee pee poo poo pee pee poo poo pee pee.
Remember the guy
poo,
that
pee,
tried to
like-
sue Xbox because people were saying the N word on Xbox Live? Xbox,
Yeah.
like, what?
yeah.
Did you see the video where somebody's gamer tag was Xbox sign off, and people are like, "Oh, dude, I just
Yes.
got hit by Xbox
Oh, yeah.
sign off,"
And then-
no. The voice
yeah.
commander would kick him off.
Or
Yeah.
you would say
With the Kinect.
Cortana.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cortana, turn Xbox
Cortana.
off. And in the middle of the game, they would
Yep.
have.
Oh, man.
I used to be a big ego head when it came to video games.
Yeah.
Tyler
I mean,
and I play
it's-
racing games together. That's our games.
yeah, we play,
I'm
Wreckfest
I do have an ego
online.
with racing games, I think.
I have a lot of
Because
fun with it.
I enjoy them. I'm fucking good at them.
I have fun. I have fun racing.
But
games.
it's only with like a select few. You don't go to like I don't know, like a hospital and go, I'm fucking amazing at Mario Kart.
No.
Save me first.
Yeah.
I'm better at Mario Kart.
You go to Whole Foods and just
Right.
start
Give
talking.
me on the
You know
life
what,
raft
though?
on the
When-
Titanic. I could be Yoshi on the monkey.
Talk about egos. Talk about egos and playing video games online and things like that. That is a big deterrent of me for playing video games online in a public space because I know I'm just going to get my ass kicked at just about everything. Because you're going to keep getting paired up with people who have way more free time than you, are way better at this game than
Yeah.
you, and you just get your ass kicked over and over
Every
again.
time.
Yeah.
And to me, that's a deterrent. And that's why I kind of gravitate more towards games where there is more of a single player story.
Yeah.
Things
Like,
like
I get that.
Zelda, right?
So the thing with me was like because for a while, like I'd get very, into say the online games and like you're playing against random people and you're getting your ass kicked and then you start, but then I'm like, well, I just got to get better. And then we're playing Warzone, and they had the big problem with everybody using like aimbots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
and like you would just get headshotted. And
Yeah.
the guy would be on the complete other side of the map and all of a sudden find you and you would just get destroyed.
Yeah.
And there's
Oh,
this
yeah.
guy that would have, like, what did they have? 100 people on a map. And then it would be like, this guy's got 89 kills.
Yeah.
And it's like, how the fuck? If I wanted to not just sharpen my skills, but get better, it also kind of helped me, like, realize, like, okay, I'm not the
It's
best.
humbling.
Yeah.
So,
it's humbling. That's what I hear about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is like, if you're, like, really wanting, like, self-improvement, like it goes in there.
I heard that, too.
You get humbled because
Get knocked
somebody
the
will
fuck out.
No, you won't get knocked out, but like they'll put you in a chokehold, right?
Yeah.
And so then it's like okay, well, how do I get away from that? And it's like you learn the different moves and positions and stuff to avoid that.
The new Mario Brothers for the Switch that came out,
Wonder?
Super Mario Wonder.
Yeah.
They got a great way for playing with other people online.
Oh, do
you're
they?
not actually interacting with them per se. They don't help
Yeah.
you with the level, but if you
Ghost
jump into a
trials?
level, it just happens to be that other people are also playing that level. They're in the background as ghosts, so you can
Yeah.
pass through them and stuff. But if you die, you can shake your controller and they can save you so that you got like 5 seconds to try to
get
find
out.
somebody
Really?
so
Oh,
that you
no
don't
way.
use your life.
That's cool.
They
Do you
can
get
pass
extra-
along mushrooms and things like that. If you help people, you get bonuses.
Oh,
And
okay.
if you get helped from other people, you don't have to lose your life. Like stuff like
communal
that.
aspect
Like
there.
if
Wow.
you're playing the level at a really hard part, just die and somebody will save you on the other side if you plan it out right. Like and there are people
Wow.
that I was playing
Interesting.
a couple levels where people were sticking together as a group along with because we'd keep saving each other because
Yeah.
it's a really hard part.
And that's out
So-
now for the Switch?
yeah, it
Mario
just came out.
Wonder?
Mario
Really?
Won- Super Mario Wonder. It's a new Mario Brothers side-scrolling game, just like regular Mario Brothers. So much fun. That was a great way they did it, and I think that game and the new Zelda Tears of the Kingdom were Nintendo's two games they won.
Yeah.
They won top game, whatever, blah blah blah. This year.
Interesting.
So much fun though.
Do you
That's
play
a
with
good
the
one.
joystick or Pro-Con?
The Pro controller.
Yeah.
Pro controller.
Apparently,
Yeah.
if you play with the Joy-Con on the level that has the music notes that go like this, it vibrates to that frequency of each note.
Interesting.
No way.
Wow.
I just saw it on like the shorts that I scrolled
Oh.
through. Yeah.
No way. It actually will resonate
Like-
the tune.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah. It'll do.
I
like
have to try that.
Yeah, it's- it-
there's a
I
couple
don't know what
goofy
level it
levels.
is.
There's a couple goofy levels. Each level has this little flower
it's-
where once you hit it, totally
They start
changes
singing,
the whole
right?
aspect of the level. Like
Yeah.
there's some singing ones. There's all of a sudden no gravity. Whatever that totally throws a wrench in the gears to what the level was up until that point.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Do you know what games I used to really like to play was the
DDR.
Telltale games?
Oh,
Telltale.
yeah.
I remember. What were those?
So, like,
cell
they-
shaded.
Yeah, like they were cell shaded, but like it was like a story driven game, and it wasn't like action. It's not like you're doing like you have to do a lot of stuff.
What was it called?
That's
the
publisher.
studio.
That was the publisher was Telltale Games.
Telltale, and they used to do things like they had Back to the Future game,
Batman one.
They had the Batman one, which was really dope. They had what was it, Wolf Among Us,
The Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead was one big popular one.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
That's
Marvel's
so
Guardian of
familiar.
the
I don't remember what
Galaxy.
game I
Yes,
played.
the Guardians of the Galaxy one, and like
was a fun game.
you would be able to choose different
$7.
outcomes. Yeah, because you know.
Oh, PS4.
It's
Okay.
old.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're old and they
games.
closed shop. I think.
Did they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think they're around anymore.
Oh, I know why I know these guys.
Did they blow
made
up
a
Borderlands?
Strong Bad video game.
Did they?
Yeah, in 2008.
They did?
Strong Bad's cool game for attractive people. It was
That's
called.
it.
Yes. Yeah. You remember?
Talk
do you
about ego.
remember, do you remember the Dangeresque things on Homestar Runner? It was like a film noir, like I'm saving the world and I got cool glasses.
No, I don't
Same
remember
world.
those. I
But
may have fallen
it
off
was
by
all
then.
around that.
It
That's
was
what
like,
it was.
when you feel real confident, you squint your eyes. Those kind of stuff. Yeah, like
Looks like we're gonna have to jump. Explosion. It was stuff like that. That's what it was.
I'm trying to gravitate towards a little bit of everything with video
Yeah.
games. Tyler and I get together and play on Xbox. We play racing games. We play Wreckfest. We play Forza and
Yeah,
stuff.
I used
But
to love playing Forza.
I like the World of Outlaws game, the sprint car
Forza
game.
is my shit, dude. Forza Horizon, more
Yeah.
specifically. That's the more arcadey one.
yeah.
Yeah, we
God,
play
I
that.
love it.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say, I just saw Telltale Games made a Jurassic Park game at one point.
Yep.
Did you hear about the new Jurassic Park game coming out?
There's a new one.
There's a new one coming out. I don't know when. and
Harassment
this-
Park?
I love this because the other Jurassic Park games were all about building your own park, kind of like
Oh, yeah,
Roller
like-
Coaster
like-
Tycoon,
yeah,
but for
yeah, yeah, yeah.
dinosaurs.
Is Colonel Sanders in it?
This one is called Jurassic Park Survival. You are on Isla Nublar, and
You have to survive.
You have to survive. That
Interesting.
sounds
what
Sick.
time period?
by
What
yourself.
movie?
It takes place in the 90s. Jurassic Park 1.
Nice.
Wow.
That sounds like a lot of fucking fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna steal that old guy's
'cause
cane
you know,
and try
like-
to walk.
Adventure through a fully realized Isla Nublar with fully reactive wildlife, dinosaurs, and other surprising threats from the iconic towering park gates to the visitor center and beyond.
Do you have to eat and shit?
You know what? I don't know.
like,
Survive.
I was gonna say,
You're
7 days to
evading
die.
the predators, and you're surviving on the island. That's the deal. That sounds
Interesting.
like a lot of fun.
What was
I like
the name
that.
of the game where you were in the mall and there were zombies? You could put like a chainsaw
Yeah.
on a
Dead Rising.
kayak
Yeah.
paddle. Dead Rising.
Dead
That-
Rising.
Is there any new
Yeah,
version
there
of
is
that?
a new.
Yeah.
Like 2 years ago, but that's
Xbox
like the
or
newest.
PS4?
All, I think
Yeah,
all platforms.
yeah, they
That
usually-
game fucking ruled.
Yeah.
You
It
would
was a
put
lot of fun.
chainsaw on a kayak paddle, and if you found another chainsaw, you'd have two
Yeah.
chainsaws.
Yeah. It was like one of my favorite, like, I have like a couple favorite video games that, like, Metal Gear
Can
Solid.
you do one per?
Nintendogs.
like,
One at a time, you mean? Like
No, one per console leading up to the current life.
oh, God.
That's awesome, Phil.
Yeah. I mean,
Starting with NES.
I got to say, NES, probably I'll say Contra.
Yes.
I didn't have Super Nintendo. I had Sega.
Okay.
One of my favorite Sega games was either Road Rash
Yeah.
or maybe Vector Man.
I never played Vector Man, but I
Vector
heard
Man,
of it.
yeah. I mean, Sonic 2
Sonic
or Sonic
2 was
3 was
good.
really good.
Yeah.
Then I went from that to PlayStation. PlayStation, my game, Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
That game changed video games for me.
I like Croc.
it. Metal Gear Solid was probably
I'm sorry.
one of the greatest video games of all time.
I don't remember.
I don't remember Croc. Then after PlayStation was PlayStation 2. Favorite PlayStation 2 game was. Ooh,
Croc
it
was
had to
my
be maybe a
favorite game.
Outback
Madden.
on Croc.
Or Spyro.
Madden.
Maybe a Madden game.
Yeah.
Madden game?
Because
I
I
have
got
PlayStation 2
really,
right here.
I got really into Madden on PlayStation 2, and then
Broncos had to win somehow.
yeah, right.
I'm sorry.
It was good.
I love beating
dig
up
from
on
like
them.
I mean, the-
94.
I mean, the Broncos have won more Super Bowls than the Eagles, so
Well, it doesn't matter.
True.
Anyway.
True.
It doesn't matter. It's a true Philly fan. It doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter.
Nobody cares.
No, and then I don't know, Xbox 360, maybe
Halo.
that was Halo 3.
Halo was
Fusion
good.
Frenzy.
PlayStation 4 for me was either Last of Us or this game called Gone Home, which is a story-driven game that
Okay. All right.
yeah.
Either of you guys.
I would say for PS1 would be Croc.
That was your version
Yeah.
video game.
I forgot
No,
about
my version
Croc.
of video game actually would have been with NES. We used to play Mario 3. That
We
was the
didn't
good
have
one.
an NES.
Well, we used to play it at Andy's every day. That was my
okay.
favorite thing to play. And
The
David,
first
my friend
video game
David,
system
my
we
buddy
had in the
Chris.
house, I think, was the PlayStation, other than Mom's
Sega.
Oh, the Sega. We did have the Sega.
Sega
That's
was
right.
Tiny Toon Adventures, Buster's Big Adventure, or Buster's Breakout, or whatever it was called. That was my favorite on
I think it was
on that.
Big Adventure, yeah.
Yeah,
think it was Big
Buster's
Adventure,
Adventure.
Sonic 2
NES
was on
would have been Mario 3, and then after that would have been Dreamcast, which was clearly Sonic.
Sonic Adventure.
GameCube was
Not
Dirt
Crazy
NASCAR,
Taxi?
not NASCAR, Dirt to
Didn't
Daytona.
have it.
Which was cool. You like started
Dirt
in a
to
shitty
Daytona
dirt
was
car
great.
and made it all the way to the NASCAR. It was super fun.
I liked
game.
that one.
I think I actually played that one.
It was like a story mode, but
Yeah.
you're a NASCAR driver.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
You're
but you
starting off
start
in
in
dirt.
dirt, yeah.
Then
Oh,
you get to a sprint
I did-
car.
No one
Yep.
said N64.
Not yet. I'm not there
All
yet.
right.
I never had an
N64. What the best game for N64 was San Francisco Rush.
That's a good one.
64.
Yeah.
Mario
I was,
Kart
a Diddy, I
64.
was a Diddy Kong guy.
Diddy
This is
Kong's the
best- this is-
shit.
This was the first groundbreaking real 3D Mario Kart right here. That was a
Yeah.
good one.
Dude, groundbreaking, first of all.
groundbreaking,
The best
sorry.
game. Diddy Kong is fun high. I want to get baked with you guys and play fucking N64.
Yeah.
You know
We gotta
what?
do that.
I was San
we
Francisco Rush,
forgot
too.
GameCube Double Dash.
He just said
Dash.
who said GameCube?
Dirt to Daytona was mine. GameCube.
Dirt
Yeah.
Dirt to Daytona. Double Dash was great.
Double
yeah, that's a
Dash
hard
was
one
awesome.
to find though.
I think it's the best
Baby Park.
game or Mario Kart.
Gaby
ever.
Park.
Gay Baby Park.
Gay baby park.
Gay
I'm
pink
trying
hot
to
baby.
Gay
picture
hot babies.
what would that be? Yeah.
Gay Baby
Hey,
Park?
anyways,
Remember when you guys wanted to name the podcast "Little Plastic Babies"?
Yeah, and I still do.
let's go back to that.
But yeah. Let's.
It was purely based on a gimmick.
Yeah. Kyle would drop these little plastic babies around, and we for just to confuse people
It was
in the,
very-
Put them
in the
in
wild.
every single thing in
You left
Christy's
some at
school
Boston.
bag.
You
yeah,
had
they
to
were
leave
all
some
over
at
Boston.
Boston.
They were all over my car for like
I left
months.
some in your honor when we left early on Saturday to go
You
home.
I can
sprinkled
only
some
imagine
babies.
what your hinge dates are when they find one in your car.
Oh god.
Like, what's this plastic baby in your car?
That's Emmanuel. What's he doing on the floor?
I think I've found them all. Thankfully.
Is this from Cast Iron Kyle?
So, did you get to your end?
No, PS2 would have been San Andreas, and then I think
Oh, yes.
Xbox, original Xbox, Dave Mirra Freestyle BMX. And for like Xbox 360, PlayStation 5 was all the Call of Duties. I played them forever. And then right now, Xbox is probably the World of Outlaw Sprint Car game. Super cool.
And that's hard for me because I actually didn't really get into playing video games until like I got the Switch, and then I went back
Yeah.
and got some old games.
Hi, I'm Tyler,
went
and
the
I'm
other
better than
direction.
you.
So I
Switch
guess
is so much fun for that.
I'll go backwards because like I do have a PlayStation 1. That was the one I remember playing the most as a kid. Obviously,
Right.
Crash Bandicoot
Right.
2 or 3.
Yeah.
And Spyro was great as well. Loved those. And then the N64 would probably have to be Mario Kart 64. Just being a basic.
Did you
bitch,
guys
don't
play that
care.
too? Mario Kart 64?
Mario Kart
Oh, yeah.
64.
The Wario one where you jump over the fence? You guys
Oh,
know
yeah.
that trick?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right. Fuck
little-
me. Sorry.
Goldeneye.
Did you guys ever hear of the Driver games?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Driver 3 was supposed to be the big rival to San Andreas or Vice City. It was San
Yeah.
Andreas. And it wound up being horrible, but I loved it. And
Yeah.
that was my
Yeah.
PlayStation 2 of choice at the time. I played it on the computer then, but it's a PlayStation 2
Right.
game
Oh
as
yeah.
well.
PC game shit.
Yeah, the cheats for those things were hilarious. So Driver 3, which was
Yeah.
a horrible game, but I loved it. And then I guess that would move me up to Xbox, which was Xbox 360, which was Flat Out. I love the Flat Out.
Oh,
wow.
man.
Flat
Yeah,
Out.
Flat Out. That was a good
Flat
game.
Out Ultimate Carnage is great on the Xbox. I loved that.
Dude,
that's
that
a good.
game
That's a
was
good
sick.
racing game, demolition
Yeah.
derby game, whatever. The Wii.
Oh yeah. I forgot about the Wii.
Mario Kart.
Mario Kart Wii was a big deal on that, but also so was bowling.
Yep.
and
World at
the
War.
one
The
that
Wii
came with it.
Sports.
Wii Sports still,
Yeah.
it's iconic. Everyone had
Iconic.
it. Everyone
Yeah.
loved it when it came
Yeah.
out.
I love that I could take my GameCube games and put it in there and
Yes,
then
dude.
still play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So glad
Oh,
that they
it
did
was
that.
backwards compatible. That's right.
And there's a lot of chatter about that right now with the new system that's supposed to come out after the Switch. Is it going to be backwards compatible with the Switch games? Because
It makes it so more
history
appealing.
tells you yes, because I think the Wii U played Wii games and Wii U games.
What a
and
flop
the
of
Wii
a system.
played
Yeah, that was a huge
GameCube
flop.
games and Wii games.
Yeah.
But before that, I mean, it was just because the GameCube was the first disc-driven.
But
What they're gonna do in the department is they're gonna see what's the percentage of people who actually buy hard copy games. What's the
Right,
percentage of
right,
people
right.
that download
Dude,
games?
I buy the
Look at
hard
the
copy.
PS5.
Should we make the investment into putting this software patch in? Oh, it's only going to cost $3,000. I don't give a fuck. And then they're just going to say no, and then
Yeah.
fuck us all
Right.
over.
yeah.
Right.
Dude, and
then
that's why I
it's
get. That's why whenever I can buy physical, I do because eventually they do shut those servers down for those old systems,
Yeah.
and you're
Yeah.
not going to be able to download your
Battlefield
shit again.
1942. Can't play it anymore.
Yep.
I do
Yep.
have to say though, when I bought the emulator, PJ impressed me. I couldn't believe how many of the video games that I had not heard of that you actually knew.
Yeah.
That emulator was cool as hell.
That's dude. That
I
emulator is awesome.
I got to bring that with the projector. We should play that outside. That would be fun to do.
Yeah.
I think that was the beauty of me and my brother's like agreement. Like we both wanted a different console. So
Right.
like we found a way, whether it had been like Christmas or our birthdays or just saving up in general.
Go play your Sega, idiot.
We found a way to like, well, we accumulated most of them, which
Okay.
was good. So like
Yeah.
we got Duck Hunt from one of our neighbors. We bought that off of them. So that was
Duck
my
Hunt's
that was
cool.
my NES game.
Okay.
Super NES was definitely going to either be Killer Instincts.
Oh yeah,
That was like a fighting game, or or like it's like a Mortal Kombat kind of thing.
They redid that for the launch of the Xbox.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, when the Xbox One came out.
Yeah?
I remember they redid it, and dude, it was so buggy.
Good.
It was awful.
I got real excited.
It was so buggy.
They fucked it up.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, no, they did.
Sega was Earthworm Jim or Clay Fighter.
Oh,
Yeah.
Earthworm Jim
those are
ruled,
good.
dude.
Yeah.
They made one of them for N64 too.
Didn't Clay Fighter? Didn't that get like recalled or
Maybe.
or there was some controversy about
Caused
it? And
epilepsy?
they pulled it off the shelves or some shit.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something
it was
like
a fun
that.
game.
Really?
Yeah.
Dreamcast was Power Stone.
Power Stone.
And I had PlayStation at I played it with my friend's house, and that was all the mech fighter, the Gundam games kind of thing.
yeah.
All that shit. And then I was just pure Halo from like Xbox until
From then on.
Yeah. And then now I'm just like Destiny, Overwatch.
I didn't say my nows. I just realized.
Oh.
Which were just it was just Forza racing game. We already talked about that. The racing game. I love racing games. That's like my main thing is racing games. But also Zelda. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I ate that up. I never played role playing games ever, but I heard so much about Breath of the Wild that I grabbed it, and holy shit, dude, it's incredible.
Yeah.
And I went through, played it once. You can go through and explore and make your way through on your own. I played it once. Now I'm going back with the guidebook. And
It's so
I'm
in-depth,
following the
dude. It's
guidebook
so
so that I
appealing
can
to me.
get all the stuff that I know I didn't get.
Yeah.
It is so much more fun and satifying to use the guidebook than to just Google your way through the whole thing. It just still feels authentic.
Oh, see, I
Feels
always
authentic feels fun to me. More fun.
I would only use the guidebook if I'm like
Hung up.
absolutely freaking stuck.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
But the guidebook is still elusive. It's like go to the west and you'll see a large block and
Yeah.
this and that. It's not like
Oh, so they
here's
don't
the
hold
spot
your
on the
hand.
map, watch the YouTube video and do what they do on the YouTube video. You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's much
You guys
it's-
might be too young, but there was a service you could call.
Yep.
Yeah,
I heard about
Yeah,
that.
And back in the day, like Nintendo, they
I'm
had,
stuck.
Nintendo had it. Yeah, Nintendo had a service you could call,
used to
right?
be able to call them, and they would help you go through the thing.
That's awesome.
Did you actually? Yeah. Did you ever watch? There is a great docu-series on Netflix about video games, the history of video games, and it goes
Really?
all the way from the beginning, like where it started as arcade games, then how they got into the console, and then evolved into what modern day games are now.
Yeah, and there's some great stories about how Nintendo turned down Sony for their disc drive, and that's why Sony PlayStation even exists now.
Yes.
Well, there's a
stuff
whole-
like that.
Yeah, no, there's a whole thing with that where it was like they actually hired Sony to make it was gonna be the Nintendo PlayStation.
Yes, it was going to be the
Yeah.
Nintendo PlayStation.
Yeah.
When you look at the PlayStation next to the N64, the PlayStation just looked so much more advanced with using a CD. It could play my CDs. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Well,
and then
it's
this thing still took cartridges just like they did 15 years ago. You know?
associated with VHS and old tech.
Yeah.
And a lot of,
Yeah.
Well, and then also, I mean, eventually the N64 did have a disc drive.
Oh, yeah.
That you could
On the bottom.
you could set it on top. I don't know if it ever released in America.
What's
I know
the
they
thing
had
with-
it in Japan.
I never saw anybody.
There was
that
something
had
that went on the
that.
back of it too, of the N64. I forget.
Oh yeah, that was the
No, that's the adapter.
That's
The
what it
power
was.
adapter itself went back here.
yeah, but
Okay.
they had
It was
a
like red.
And there's your on the bottom. There's the port. Where you would attach the disc drive, and this would
Yes.
sit right on top.
That's
Right.
crazy.
Yeah.
but
That's what
it apparently
game's in there?
it didn't sell well on
Mario Party 2.
It didn't sell well on in Japan, so
Yeah,
they
the
didn't bring it to the
Japan market,
United
they
States.
tested it in,
Yeah.
right, and it never made its way here.
Yeah.
You can only find Japanese copies.
Yeah.
Well, actually, in Japan, they had to sleep sideways to put
Japanese style.
Throwback.
in there.
That's
No, but that's what's it's that kind of
it's
thing.
a very interesting story. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
worth
the
diving
only
into,
reason
so.
why the cartridges were so big was because of public perception. They wanted something actually like handheld
to grab. Yeah, when you open a lot of them
it's
up,
like that
there's,
big.
there's like nothing to
Yeah,
them.
it's
Yeah,
just that.
there's
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's absolutely insane when
This
you
is
go
the time of year that I really dive deep into video games because it's winter. You're stuck inside.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do. So
don't have
I
much to do.
thoroughly look forward to taking all this shit down tonight, turning the lights down, got the glowing lights, and diving my head right back into Zelda. I can't wait.
I must have been ripped, but apparently I bought the second Spider-Man. I just found out about it this
yeah?
morning. I was like,
On Steam, you went and grabbed it or
yeah, I was
something?
like, I own this.
That's awesome. Dude, Steam is great at little quick sales of stuff, like a
Yeah.
game that you've been wanting
Oh.
to play. It's all of a sudden $5. Like,
It's
are you
so
fucking
easy
kidding
to
me?
go buy it, and then it's like, oh,
Yeah.
Wait, what is Steam again?
Yeah, Steam is the platform on PC. Like,
Yeah.
you know when you go to Xbox and you buy something on the Xbox store
Yeah.
and you download it?
Yeah.
Steam is the service for PC that does does that, or the dominant. There's
Yeah.
plenty that do it. Steam is the best at it. You go
They were
to
the
Steam
they were like the
and
first ones to
download
do that.
Yeah, you download Grand Theft Auto on Steam Deck and
Yeah.
or
Okay.
Steam and watch it on, and load
Steam
it
Deck's
from there.
cool.
And
It's
then
the store. Yeah, that's what it is.
That's when
Platform
like
for-
all the studios started all of a sudden having their own. Like
And there
Blizzard
was
has their thing,
Battle.net.
and then
which is
Battle.net.
annoying because most
Yeah.
people, if they see it on Steam, they'll grab it. They won't gravitate away from Steam.
The worst
it's
one's
easier.
EA. That's
EA is
buggiest. Yeah.
They're at
Yeah.
and
I like
like
the hockey games.
Codemasters has
But
one, and
their stories.
Ubisoft has their own.
yes.
It's such
Yeah.
a pain in the ass to have
Yeah.
all these different. And even on the
Sports.
Xbox here, when I load up a game
It's
and
in
it
the
wants
game.
me to also sign into the Ubisoft account,
Yeah.
I don't have a fucking Ubisoft account. I don't,
They ask you to create one.
Yeah.
all these
Yeah.
passwords and all this bullshit. This is annoying as hell, man. And that gets into what we were talking about the other day in our
Yes.
group chat about releasing shit now, fixing it later.
That's broken.
and it drives me insane.
Yeah.
yeah.
The worst offender of that was a company called Grove Street Games, I think it was. Grove Street might sound familiar. It was the street that San Andreas took place on. That's where CJ's home was in San Andreas. Was on Grove Street.
Grove Street.
home. You remember that?
Okay.
They remastered Vice City, San Andreas, and GTA 3 horribly.
The other ones look better than the
They were
what's the
so
one with
messed
the
up.
Russian.
There was, they didn't have their face. Some
Yeah.
didn't have their face. Their head was missing. The sun was. The rain was going through cars. It was a mess. It took them 2 years of patches to finally get it playable.
Wow.
Are you fucking kidding me? They meet their deadline and then they fix it later and
Yeah.
fuck their sales along the way.
Well, it's even sometimes where they don't even make the deadline, where it just they keep pushing it back and delaying it and delaying it
Yeah.
and delaying it,
Halo.
and
Grand
then they
Theft
still
Auto
come
6 is
out.
going to be the same way.
but it's garbage.
I don't
when
think
it first
so.
comes out.
I don't know if Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be the same way because
You guys gonna buy it?
No,
No.
but Rockstar's usually
I don't play those
really
games.
good.
Rockstar takes their time with shit and
They
it's usually
do,
really good.
and
yes.
they'll delay the shit out of it.
GTA 4, I remember there was a whole bunch of issues on PC specifically because it was such a graphically demanding game.
Yeah.
They released patch after patch after
Yeah.
patch after patch to try to
It's
get
like
it working. right.
Cyberpunk.
But can you imagine?
And now it's
They
just
had to
running
get this
good.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or else you couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
So you're talking about, I mean, to Nintendo's point, the games that they're coming out with now, they don't really have a lot of bugs that they have to patch.
Nintendo was never bad at that.
No.
They're very
No,
good at
because-
quality control.
And that's the other thing is because they also wouldn't announce a game till it was almost ready.
right.
You know,
So
like
they
you
wouldn't
wouldn't
get
get
the hype and
there
they
was
wouldn't
no
get the push for all
now,
of that. Yeah.
like when did they announce Starfield? Like 8 years ago?
Yeah.
And now Starfield's finally out.
And it's
Yeah.
still
But-
fucked.
Is it still fucked?
The faces are awful.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I just know I was really excited about it, but
took-
I was like, Bethesda, I'm like, yeah, lately they've been like Fallout 76 was horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, man, was it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that
Fallout
sucks.
4 was
Buggy.
great. I had so much fun
76
with
yeah,
Fallout 4.
I never
I
played
listen
them.
to the Fallout radio channel on YouTube. It's
I can't wait
live.
for the show, by the way.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. The show looks good.
Yeah.
I like Walter Goggins.
don't want to set the world on fire.
Is that what we're ending the show with?
No.
Oh, okay. It sounded like you were wrapping up, and that was it. That's I mean, but yeah, we could wrap a video game chat with just like it's this time of year. That's what I'm playing a lot, and we all. It's nice. It's nice to take a trip down memory lane. I've seen a lot of people where they collect the old video games, but they never really play them. I
Yeah.
might be in that camp for the most part because I don't have a lot of free time.
I do
I'm
that.
gonna have a lot less free time soon.
Actually, all right, let me give
But,
you. Let me
you know,
let me-
because of your
let me
babies.
let me give you a future dad hack.
Okay.
Okay. When the babies wake up in the middle of the night, let the wife sleep. You take care of the babies on a night. Well, it might be difficult with two. Actually, it might be difficult with two. I know with one. With one, bring the baby into the room. You know, you feed, you burp,
Yeah.
but sit on a rocking chair, rock back and forth, and play the video game.
A coworker of mine did give me the great idea. They said the Switch is perfect for that. Like if you need to be
Yeah.
in the room in the rocking chair and just
Yeah.
grab your Switch, play as long as you need, and
Yep.
just do your thing. And they said the new Nintendo system is also supposed to be a hybrid, which is fucking perfect.
Yeah.
That's what I need it to be. It needs to be a portable. They found that platform. They made that platform
It's
that never
so
existed
good.
before. Everybody, it works for everybody. It's perfect.
It makes
I
me
can't
think
wait.
about things like tech that had like we all say the Wii U sucked.
Yeah.
But would the Switch have happened if the Wii U
No.
didn't happen?
No, it would not have.
You know,
No, it would not have because
Like you-
everybody looked at that and thought that's what you could do with it.
right? Like look
Big
at
Game Boy.
Remember everybody like does anybody remember when the iPad came out and it was a fucking joke? Like
Yeah.
it was a meme.
Yeah.
Right? But Apple developed in their lab, they developed the iPad first. And Steve Jobs saw it and was like, "Can you turn that into a phone, make it smaller?" And then because he knew that if it was a phone, he was going to revolutionize.
So, did you
Apple
see
was
the,
going to take over the thing.
Did you see the
market?
Did you see the beta iOS software that came out first?
No.
It looked like the UI of an iPod.
Yeah.
Where it had a scrolling wheel and everything.
Yeah.
At the bottom. It said phone, contacts, this and that.
I'm sure.
That was them
sure.
first playing with it because that's all they had
Yeah.
to play with at first. It was very interesting seeing that on a phone, and that was actually what they were going to go with at one point.
Yeah, well, because I mean, look at it. That was kind of what the UI was like on Blackberries and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
or
yes.
or even further back, like when you go to what were they called?
Nokia?
Not Nokia, but
Palm?
the Palms. Yeah,
The Palm.
Like,
Oh,
remember-
sure, with the stylus.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yep.
like Palms and all that kind of shit. But it's just interesting to see that, like, like the early stages of things.
Oh, sure.
To be able, like,
There's a
they had to
whole,
invent this tech to get to this tech.
Do you ever see just a tangent on that real quick, but it was just like, did you ever see any of the blueprints of the early concept art for any controllers for like the
Oh, yeah.
PlayStation and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Like what they were thinking and what it led to eventually.
Yeah.
The Wii and Nintendo in general, because they're always trying to come up with a new controller.
Yeah.
Look at every one of their systems. The controllers are radically different.
The N64 controller. My God.
Oh my God, worst controller ever. No. You know what? Honestly, it was
GameCube
confusing.
was fucked for me.
No, I love GameCube. I thought that was
that controller
GameCube
was
controller felt great in
ergonomic.
the hands.
I think the GameCube controller might
Why
be
don't I get them? I have them right next to
might
me.
be the perfect controller.
the GameCube one?
I think so.
Wow.
I don't know.
ASMR.
Looking at the Xbox
It's
controllers,
the C. It's the C that bothers me. The yellow.
See,
yellow
but
buttons.
there's no difference. There's no difference in the C than you do with a dual joystick of like a PlayStation controller. You know,
Yeah, that's true.
This you have to change legs.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
Like you have.
I don't know how he did that.
Like, how am I supposed to go from here and then hit the LB
That's
button?
what I'm
Like,
talking
it's
about.
like-
The joystick in the middle like that was fucking weird.
And then having like a 20-pound rumble pack. On
Oh
top,
my
on the back.
God!
Yeah, it was heavy, dude, heavy.
And then
Yeah.
it's like, and then you the memory
Wait,
card.
what's going on there?
You got the memory pack. Oh shit!
I didn't
Sorry.
have enough money for that.
Yeah.
Aside from the analog sticks, this was the first thing they came up with, and it has
Yeah.
hardly
So
changed.
a lot of people
for
say
PlayStation.
that's the perfect
The
controller.
PlayStation
PS5
1
ones are
controller.
like-
No, they're great. No, they're great. But I'm just saying, like, they got it right off the bat. It hasn't
Yeah.
changed much from there at all.
Yeah. It's funny though how
And then the Wii
slightly
was just like ridiculous.
how slightly they changed it for PlayStation 3, I think it was. It's
Yeah.
like a little bit bigger.
Yes.
And then you go back to this and you're like, "Ooh, this is weird." Like it's just slight differences that they made.
Xbox controllers are pretty
PS4,
great, too. They're
I
pretty
like-
comfy.
I
That's the
enjoyed
premiere
For the PC,
Yeah, I use Xbox.
you use Xbox controllers. They are solid as a rock, dude. I love those controllers.
What
They're
was
great.
my controller? It's not a scuff.
This one tucks your fingers forcefully, whereas the PlayStation one, they can be kind of open.
Yeah.
And then these happened. like,
Yeah.
like that's Nintendo for you. They're
Controller
nuts.
drift
But I
and-
changed the cases on these. I put
Those are cool.
clear
Yeah.
purple ones for the Wii the Switch controllers. Very very different, man. They
Yeah.
went so different. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean they push the boundaries of
But that worked so well.
controlling a
Being
game.
able to take it portable and then take it off and rotate it and two people
Yeah.
play it. That was a very good idea.
Yeah.
So VR.
VR.
Where are we
Yeah,
with that?
yeah.
What's our opinion?
I haven't tried it.
Listen, when I
neither.
I owned a PlayStation VR and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really
PlayStation
enjoyed-
VR, yeah?
PlayStation VR was so cool.
What was the game?
It was a
you
Batman
played-
game. I
So there was a whole bunch of different things. Like there was just straight up VR experiences that I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
Like, but it was kind of an ordeal. Like you had to set up. It's not something you just like popped in to do. Like you had to set up the sensor, the camera. You,
You had to
do the-
orient the thing. Yes.
Yeah, but like when you're in there and you're doing like the deep sea diving thing and you're in the shark cage and the shark attacks and everything, like that
that's
was
cool.
dope. There was things like there were games like where you're like, you know, there's like balls coming at your face and you have to head,
hate
you know,
when that happens.
you know. But no, like it was very.
That's what you use virtual reality for.
Oh yeah, you gotta dodge the balls, you know. But
That's a big
dodge,
part of it is the
dive.
practicality of it. That's what's going to make something work. Or
well,
not.
you know what I
That's the
really
problem.
loved though was the Kinect. Because
Oh, I have one. I have
because with the Kinect, you didn't
need anything.
You literally just had to start the game and you played like Fruit
Yes.
Ninja on the Kinect. Amazing.
What I was going to say, the thing that I keep re-experiencing, and I feel like it's every couple years, you see the graphics for
Tyler's Museum.
GTA 6.
There's the Kinect.
Hang on. So you see the graphics, you say, this is these graphics look so real. Nothing will ever get better than
Yes.
this. And then next year they do it like where? Because eventually that has to stop.
No, well,
Pretty much already there.
Uncanny Valley.
That's not a word.
yeah. No, so what's gonna
Uncanny
Uncanny Valley is a real thing. Like when you're looking at movie animation, for example.
Yeah.
When you look at a movie like Frozen versus a movie like
What's the
Polar
thing?
Express.
Yeah.
Okay.
Polar Express is way too real.
Oh,
What
okay.
is the main difference that subconsciously happens? Eye size. So
Yeah.
if they make the eyes bigger, it looks more cartoony. We're cool with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But as soon as they look real and the faces look real and they move real, we don't like it because it's a
Yeah.
survival thing. I don't know what that is, so I'm not going to like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
That's what it is. So the Uncanny Valley thing.
Yeah.
But I think also,
hit
I
that
think
point.
there's going to be eventually a point where we are, because we're moving towards chips in the head and being able to communicate without talking. Like we'll be
hope
able to
they're Doritos.
We'll be able to like send a message. Like I could tell Tyler right now, like hey, do this thing, and you guys won't hear it, right?
You're right, Phil. He does suck.
You know what's crazy is all we do, talking is pretty much, this is a shower thought, talking is wirelessly transmitting ideas.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a crispy boy there. my one thing before we get to the end of this episode, I don't want to forget this because I wanted to do it the last 2 times that we podcasted. I want to ask PJ, specifically PJ. Tyler and Phil, I'm curious about your
Fuck
answers
off, Tyler.
too.
Yeah, fuck
Can you,
us.
for
I gotta
next
go.
episode, your homework, it's going to be hard. Can you put together your 10 favorite movies? I know we talked about the list, and it's going to be hard for you, but I want you to do that for us. Your 10 movies that if they say to you, you can only watch 10 movies for the rest of your life, not series, individual movies. I want 10 of them. You don't even have to say anything now or think about it. I want that for next episode.
Okay.
You know what I would
right.
add on
What's
to
your
that
favorite
would be.
video
I'll do it too. I'll do it too because I'm an older movie fan.
Yeah.
I like older.
I'm not a
movies.
movie fan. I
can
don't
do
have
that.
a list. I can't contribute to that.
I'll
I'm
do
sorry.
it.
But
And-
what I will say is something that would help me and help the listeners out is when it comes time to like say summer's coming up. Let's get Phil and PJ's top movies of the summer coming up, either new or existing movie. You know what
Sure.
I mean? Like or winter.
Yeah.
Well, winter's here. What are we gonna do? We're gonna sit inside. We're gonna watch some movies. Here's some current recommendations we got for you.
Girl, what I think is cool, Christy got me this gift. It's a scratch off poster of every movie from like
I like that poster.
1950
That's cool.
all the way to
Yeah,
2023.
I've seen those.
Track
the
of
best
the ones
movie
you
of the
watched.
year.
And they have like the little logo.
Oh,
or
it's
like,
sick,
Yeah.
dude. A movie that we just watched. We did Citizen Kane, which was great, and we started Lawrence of Arabia.
Yeah.
Sick movie, dude.
Oh.
I like older movies because it took less special. The special effects really trigger my ADD and ADHD, and it kind of takes me out of the
Yeah.
movie. It could be an awesome movie, but if there's some kind of effect or some like weird thing, the older movies depended on better acting, and there was no computer animated
and
shit.
unpaid workers.
That's what I
Good. Yeah.
True.
listen. Watching Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, like that was like too much for me.
What?
Like
'Cause
the
it's just
CG
color vomit.
Yeah, I was like usually with special effects, like I'm okay with being
Yeah.
like, oh, whatever.
I am a child when it comes to colors. Like if a movie's got a lot of color, I like it.
Go
Like
watch Ant-Man.
Mario,
Sure.
The Mario movie.
Well, that's different
yes.
though.
Tyler watches it going, God damn.
Dude, on my lights here, for example, I love colors. I love lights.
Yeah, but if you've seen it, it's
Yeah, no, like
Too
when
much?
it's so special effects driven. It like takes me
Dude,
out
your
of
house-
the. It takes me out of the movie, like where I was just like,
Yeah.
"There's,
I know
there's,
what you
there's
mean.
just too much here."
I know what you mean.
It's not like
So
I'm going
practical.
into it knowing that it's animated. Like I
Yeah,
mean,
an animated
obviously
movie
I
is
am
different
Yeah,
than
I don't
something
know.
passing for
it doesn't
live
look
action.
the ground is, and it's not even like the vacuum stuff that the Mandalorian uses. It like looks
Yeah.
like pure blue screen is everywhere.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
right.
See, that's
And it's like,
boring.
and even
Yeah.
with, and it's not like Avatar where you have Weta, who's like the best special effects company on the planet. You know, where things look like
and you
really
got the
hyper
budget to
realistic.
back that up. You
Right.
know what
well,
I mean?
Marvel's got the fucking coffers
Yeah, I guess
and
you're right
Disney.
too. But still, yeah, you're right. When people rely on that, the computer graphics too
Yeah.
much, it kind of.
I mean, let's be honest
Removes
though.
you from it,
The
I know.
Marvel movies have been taking a nosedive ever since Endgame.
Yeah.
Like Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I thought was phenomenal. Like
Oh, I
thought
haven't
was,
watched it yet.
It was
Yeah,
it
it's
was
good.
so good. It was the best Marvel movie that's come out since Endgame, and then all the other ones have been
meh.
like, yeah, it's
Oh,
it's
that's
just really
disappointing.
it's
Yeah.
disappointing, right? And like, there's so many other things that
You know that bubble was going to burst eventually, though, right?
100%.
I mean, just,
Eventually, they'd
I
run
mean,
out of shit.
I
right?
was hoping DC. Well, but that's the
Because
thing.
that went nuts. All they were doing was just superhero movie, superhero movie, superhero
Yeah.
movie, superhero movie. It was just like they were just rapid fire, like right on a conveyor belt, and they were great. I know
and
they were good,
great.
but eventually that quality they were going to run out of something. They were going to run out.
Well, the thing
eventually.
is, like,
every bubble bursts like that.
every bubble bursts, and they have stories, and like Marvel can do so many different stories. They have those in the coffers, and it's like DC too. Like what they did with the Flash, I was so upset with because they took one of the great Flash story
Stories,
arcs,
yeah.
and
The-
they
almost the best.
destroyed it.
Yeah.
Absolutely destroyed it. And great to see Michael Keaton back as Batman. That was amazing.
It's a waste of his talent.
Waste of his talent. Waste of his talent.
I'm looking forward to your list though, because I could use some suggestions for movies to watch. Because I don't watch a lot of movies. I don't dive into that category much. I
mean,
don't look for
if
something
you
to
want,
watch.
like,
so
that's
I
the
had
thing
a
is,
list on my phone.
it'll be
That's what
good
I'm trying
to it'll be
find.
good to have an open discussion about that. Like and like for holidays coming up, like I want your Halloween movies. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like,
If
I
you
think
give
that'd
me
be fun.
criteria,
I think that'd be fun to do to narrow
I'll
it
put
down.
together a list
Right?
of movies.
Sure.
You know, and maybe what we can do is
Yes.
we'll like post some slides.
And like
stuff.
summertime is a big time for movies.
Yeah.
Before we go, whatchamacallit, the last one was what? Super Mario Brothers for the video game movies?
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
the next one?
Zelda.
Zelda. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Zelda one,
Didn't
and
they
I cannot
finally announced it.
fucking wait, dude.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
I'm so stoked
do you
on that
remember
right
when
now.
they did that thing with Tom Holland as Link? And I'm like, oh, I am fucking here
That-
for it.
Tom Holland.
That would work.
Somebody did.
I think it's going to be animated though, which I would be okay with.
Well, the Mario one was. That's okay.
Somebody did
Yeah, I'd be all right with it.
Once Jack Black's in it.
a what do you call it? Rendering. They did like a.
Oh, yeah?
Like a. I don't know if it was AI at the time, but they did this whole thing, and Tom Holland was Link, and you're like, I'm on board.
Because that's the thing about Link is he says nothing. He says nothing. Everybody
but
around
like
him
Tom
says all the
Holland's
stuff.
of that build. Like,
Yeah.
But like that's gonna be the mysterious thing about it. I can't wait, dude. That's
I
gonna be
like
awesome.
the Uncharted.
Yeah, it was decent.
I thought it was a fun movie, and they touched on a lot of things of the game
Yeah.
that I really enjoyed, like that whole sequence of him hanging out of the plane.
yeah.
Like I love that part of the
Cargo
game.
ships.
Another thing that we almost
one.
failed to mention.
I want to do something real quick before we end this episode. First off, I want to congratulate Phil. Phil set a goal.
What'd I do?
Phil set a goal, and he hit the goal right on the nose. And
For 2024 or
yeah, you
23.
hit your 5,000 followers. That's pretty cool. I'm proud of you.
Thank
Good
you.
job. You earned it.
You deserve
Should be much more than that.
500,000, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying you set a goal,
Appreciate that.
and you didn't give up. You told me I'm not doing this, and there was a couple of times where you're thinking about, not doing it anymore. And
Yeah.
you stuck with it, and I think it's fucking awesome, and I think that you deserve what you have.
Listen, I've been doing this thing. I've launched this project since 2017. I'm at 5K. To keep going and to see those numbers, I feel like, not to be egotistical, but it's a testament to my own perseverance.
Of course,
So,
dude, you
Yeah.
deserve it.
Because
It's
I want
finally-
to see
it's
you
finally
do.
paying
I
off.
want to see you do long form though.
but
Like I want to see you do like get into the recipes of making the things that go with your beer.
yeah, I mean, I'm tired of fucking Instagram. So.
But it's been cool
Yeah,
to
dude.
see.
Who isn't?
yeah, right.
I know,
Honestly,
it's a
yeah.
necessary evil.
It's a necessary evil.
But still, I want to just say that
Thanks.
congratulations for that. I also want to, all of us, like we're all, it's cool to see everybody growing. Tyler's having babies.
Tyler's growing.
Yeah.
PJ's got Prince. and
Technically, my wife is growing.
She's
growing.
yeah,
You're gonna
yeah,
have some
yeah.
sympathy weight.
PJ's got Prince.
Yeah, actually, did you know
That's a real thing.
No,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
But do you know that is? Sorry, Kyle.
That's all right.
That is an actual. That is a characteristic with mammals. That all mammals, the males, when their partner
Yeah.
they impregnate their partner, they put on a layer of fat to adapt to survival.
Yeah, so
Because
they can
know
stay
they're-
to help their
because
wife.
To stay to help their wife. What they're
Yeah.
going to end up doing is like they have to go out hunt.
Yeah.
Bring back
Yeah.
the food for them, and they're not going to eat as much as.
Like the Iditarod.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
That-
anyway,
that makes
yeah.
sense. It's
I
all
just-
survival. It's all survival things.
Yeah, so it's not like don't be like, oh my god, I'm getting fat. Be like, look, dude, I'm providing for my family.
Right here.
Speaking of growing their
Speaking
social
of growing,
media brand and things like that.
I am happy that you are entering the world of Prince. But also, what's cool about that is that you're confident in your work to the point where you're doing things like this with it.
Well,
This
thank
is
you.
awesome. I think
Kyle's
it's cool.
holding up here a
This
full.
is
What size
PJ's
print is this, by the way, PJ?
Oh
By
shit,
17?
that was I
That's
think
got to be
it's
like 17 by 24.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. It's a 17 by 24 nice
Where is this
framed
shot, by the
print.
way?
That was from Lake George, Colorado.
Wow.
You got the mist from the mountain coming
Yeah, it's
down, and,
really well
and,
composed.
and it's reflecting beautifully on the water
Yeah,
below.
I love
You
the
got some
colors of
boathouses,
the
a
houses.
dock, and
Yeah.
it's
do
very
this
nice,
storage
very nice
container
shot. Would do well for some.
Really nice color.
Yeah.
Would do
Yeah.
well for
And you have-
decoration. It's great.
How many prints do you have available on
So
your
right now
site?
I have 6, but
Sweet.
honestly, if there's any prints that are on my website, which is paulgarrisoniv.com,
Any pictures
or
on there.
any even on my Instagram, if there's something that floats your boat, you just send me a DM.
Yeah.
Ask for a
Because
print,
what I can
like-
do is I can literally put any photo that I've taken into the print shop and make it available.
It's
looks
just
great, dude.
cool
And you can-
that we are at the point now where PJ's like, I'm meeting with a client. Or,
Yeah.
Phil's like, I'm going to Chicago to create content with you. It's just cool to
Or
see
I'm
everybody
buying diapers.
keep going because there are people around us that are giving up and quitting their social media and quitting their podcasting. And there's people that aren't going because they are so under stimulated by the lack of response. But when there's a passion behind it, and I've always said this, I know I've said it on multiple podcasts, if you like it, that is the only reason when there's nothing else around you to just keep going at it.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing that with you guys because there's different points where you could be discouraged. There are different points where you could say, well, you know what, I'm wasting my time. But you're enjoying it and you're growing,
Yeah.
and I'm proud of you guys.
That's why it's like when it comes down to it, it's like I have 330 followers on Instagram, and I could care less.
Not after this, motherfuckers. You better.
No, I mean I
Let's
could
grow
care
the
less.
podcast too. By the way.
Yeah, like I don't
We're
know.
almost at 10,000 on the podcast.
Yeah.
we gotta hit
10,000
that.
what?
Yeah.
We're gonna get
Followers.
there.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
on Instagram.
Yeah. Yep.
Instagram. Okay,
But
cool.
yeah, and we're working on the YouTube. We're
Yeah,
what,
YouTube's doing well.
64 followers, I think, or
Well,
subscribers.
the shorts are
shorts
doing
are
good.
doing great on YouTube.
Shorts are doing great.
So-
We want to get more of the episode
Let me
numbers
find
up.
that real quick. So if you're watching that or if you're listening to this and you haven't yet interacted with the YouTube channel, it's at Full Slice Podcast, and we have long form videos of all of our episodes, but we also have shorts.
Yeah, it's little snippets of the episode that are easy to share and digest in quick little snaps. So
It's fucking cool. We're doing it. We're doing it.
gonna
We're
be
having
it.
fun. We
And
spent
we good?
8 hours today podcasting.
it's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good year.
It's 8 hours. It's 7:30. Fourth wall. Oh, I mean, all together if you add up all the last weekends.
Today.
No, we're doing really cool stuff, and that's the thing is when it comes down to it, it's like I kind of don't care what the followers are.
That's
at the
not
end
a
of the
good thing to
day.
say.
Well, listen,
I don't
I'm
care
saying
about you.
it's
No, I'm
not
just
like
kidding.
I'm
No,
not.
I know what you mean. I know
I'm
what you
not
mean.
focused on the numbers of the followers and all that stuff. Where it's
Correct.
like because I'm having fun doing it.
Yep.
I'm having fun sitting down with you guys. Especially the group chats.
They're fun.
Like
The group
the
chats.
group chat blows up, or like when we decide to have one of those video calls, it's like one of these days we have to live stream a video call just to let people
Wait,
into
who called this one? I don't know.
when we were at work that day, and Kyle video calls does it in the group chat.
And somehow all of us were able to answer.
Yeah,
By the way,
you're walking through
Yeah.
a lobby with pianos.
Yeah,
I'm at
Right
work
on my
like
lunch break. I put my phone in my pocket. I'm walking into the break room and I hear hello.
butt dial
What are you doing? And I hear
FaceTime the
Tyler. I'm
whole
like,
group.
oh, I called Tyler. Phil's like, hey, what's going? I'm like, oh, I called Phil.
and I'm like, yo,
PJ tier 2. What the hell happened?
yeah.
There's a
one time,
podcast
He's like,
emergency.
he's like, my phone's 10 feet away from me. I don't know what you guys did.
When we had our call last weekend where we get together and do these calls for constructive creativity and stuff like that. I thought the call was for 1 o'clock. And it was actually set up for 3 o'clock. Tyler's like, I'm grocery shopping, but I could do it. PJ's like, hello? Like, oh, sorry. I was making
like-
special soup, guys.
No, I
Bad
was
timing.
8 hours into a video. I'm
Yeah.
like,
oh, fuck. You look like you were
My mouth is
Oppenheimer.
filled with secret soup.
So it was, but it's fun, dude.
No, but the best part about that call is we know Tyler's at the supermarket, and you hear checkout. Beep, doop, beep, doop, beep. And Kyle's like, "What is that beeping?"
I'm at the
Someone's on
supermarket,
life
bro.
support.
Well, thank you for all the growth so far with the new show. This is new to us for this year. This is our first official beginning of the year of the show. So thank you to everybody who's helped us grow so far and continue to grow and spread the word and things like that. And we're looking forward to see what comes for the rest of 2024 for the show.
Tell us what you want to see.
Yeah,
We'll do it.
Please interact.
We're a show for you guys. We're doing this for ourselves, for fun, like we
Yeah.
just mentioned. But if there's a topic or a subject you think would be entertaining, we're willing to try it
At
out.
Full Slice on Instagram, at Full Slice on YouTube, and you can find Full Slice, the audio version, wherever you get your podcasts.
And if you get us 500 subscribers on YouTube, we will do the next episode from my hot tub.
Naked.
At my hot tub, we'll do it.
Hot tub
volunteer my
podcast machine.
We'll all pass out. We
You're gonna put the two of us in a hot tub together? Oh,
Once you
that's
don't shit in
dangerous.
it, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know if I'll be able to keep my hands off him. He's such a
That's-
handsome man.
That's secret soup or special soup,
Yeah.
whatever it was.
sex webs?
We will
Sex
write-
webs.
Sex webs.
Secret soup on the side of my hot tub. Sex from there.
Thanks, Ian.
Yeah.
See you later.
Podcast.